Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for, this is your April bonus reading, and we're just going to jump right in here and see what's going on for you. You have this charity card that says donate to create positive energy around you, and you also have this motivator card that says motivate yourself to better your finances. They need rescuing. I would definitely keep an eye on your finances. Again, I keep telling people, the worst thing I think everyone could do right now is worry and be paranoid about their finances, but I would definitely keep an eye on your finances. I would definitely do things to make sure that you're stable, although it looks pretty good. So, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You have that charity card which says donate, but I always tell people sometimes I think that, we don't have to donate money. We could donate time. We could donate things that we own that we don't need anymore. We could share a valuable piece of information with the world, like on YouTube, right? Or you can offer some kind words to a person that you have in your life that means something to you, right? All those things can kind of be charity in a sense. They can, and they all create good energy. So anything you can do to do that will probably return back to you 10 times or, probably more. Right? So I would definitely do that work. I would also say that, again, I wouldn't be paranoid about your finances, but I think that your answer is right here. I keep telling people, I think the best thing you can possibly do is learn as much as you possibly can. Again, there will be more bank collapses. There will be more issues with money and all this other stuff. It's just a sign of the times. It's just what we're going to be dealing with for at least the next 10 years, I would say. I think things I wouldn't say things get significantly better, but I think things get better by 2033. Again, that does not mean that we will be suffering for the next 10 years. Why? Because you're listening to me. Everybody who listens to me is a winner, plain and simple. It's been proven. The scientists at NASA have proven it as well, that if you listen to Chris, then you are going to be a winner in life. But what I would say here is that, I think that learning as much as you can about your finances is what you need to do. People have left me comments, and I've responded to those people as well, that they keep saying, should I pull my money out of the bank and hide it under my mattress and stuff like that? I'm like, well, I'd say no extremes. We have we have Neptune moving into Aries in 2026. So I keep telling people that it would be better to learn about finances, what to do with your money, what to do in times of recession and stuff like that. It would be better to learn about it and do a little bit of it than it would be to go to extremes. I think that if you go to one extreme or the other in any area of your life, then you're going to have a hard time. But the people who kind of learn about things and put things into practice, even on just a small scale, on a small level, and take those small steps, those are the people that are going to be very successful. So I keep encouraging people, and again, not financial advice. I have no clue what I'm talking about. I failed math my whole entire life, so be careful with taking advice from me. And also, with Neptune moving into Aries in 2026, you shouldn't take advice from anyone. You should learn from people, but then you should put it into practice for yourself and then see what works for you, because things work differently for everyone, of course. But what I would say is, if I were you, and I basically am, because here I am stuck on Earth, right, is I would do a little bit of everything. It's if you're interested in crypto, go get crypto. If you're interested in buying gold, buy some gold. If you're interested in hiding a little bit of money under your mattress, do that. But also keep a little bit in the bank. Obviously, you have to survive, and that's probably the easiest way to do it. But again, I would just be careful of the extremes, like selling your house to buy Bitcoin, for example. Terrible idea. Getting a second mortgage to buy Bitcoin. Getting a second mortgage to buy a crap ton of gold, thinking that it's going to go up 900%. Doubt it, right? And terrible idea. So again, we have to be balanced. I promise you that if you take those small steps and you are balanced, you will see great returns or find success. But if you go crazy, that's where the universe will probably spank you. So I would be careful. You have the Nine of Wands here. I do feel like you're trying to protect something here, Scorpio, with the Nine of Wands. Some of you, this could be new love as well. So there could be love coming into your life if you want love. You have the Lovers here, Six of Wands even under it, which could be a success in love. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. Page of Pentacles would be a new person. I feel like I say this to you all the time. There needs to be communication. It's like someone isn't opening up here. And I also say all the time, look at this. There are two wounded warriors here on this card. I'm telling you right now, I feel like you're attracting a person who has been through something exactly like you. I've been saying this to you for weeks, and it keeps coming up. It's like I'm not making it up here, people. There it is. Two wounded warriors. So you could be attracting a person who has been wounded. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I would say if they've learned from it, and if you have learned from what you went through, then obviously it's going to be a good thing. If you haven't, right, which is perfectly fine, not a criticism, I think it would be better for you to admit that you're not ready if you're not ready. If you are, go for it. But the Nine of Pentacles just says, hey, take a little bit more time for yourself. It's perfectly fine to do that. It's perfectly fine for you to kind of wait a little bit, have a victory in the future, but also take control of your reality. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of taking control of your destiny. And I always say the Wheel of Fortune, it's more your destiny in the sense that it's your personal vision for your life, how you see your life going. So I think it would be better for you to get to that point where you're at the center of the wheel, and we'll talk about that in a minute. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords here. Really, Page of Pentacles is the solution to the Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords represents only seeing one way of doing things. If you're stuck in any area of your life, if you learn about it, you're going to learn other ways of doing it, whatever it is, whatever you want. Love, money, spirituality, doesn't matter. So I feel like learning is going to be your best friend. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. Definitely could be a love offer, like I said, from a person. I've been saying this for weeks. It's like the same thing over and over and over again as far as love is concerned, that you could be attracting a person who has been through something very similar to what you have been through. And obviously I'm reading for like a million of you, so it's going to be different for all of you. And I would just make sure that not only are you ready, but that this person is ready as well. Although, I don't know. It looks pretty good. So I'd say that I think everybody's ready. With the Nine of Pentacles, yeah, you have the Fool. I feel like everybody's ready. If this is you and another person, I feel like everybody's ready to kind of take the leap of faith here with the Fool. I like the Fool in love as well because it kind of represents a true companion. Normally, there's the little dog with the guy. On this card, there's just the dog, and dogs represent companionship. So, I kind of feel like with the Nine of Pentacles here, it's like your days of being single are kind of coming to an end for those of you that want love. For others, I feel like you could be taking action on something that you have your focus on. Again, Nine of Pentacles represents training your focus. And so if you've been thinking about something like starting a business or a YouTube channel or whatever it is you want to do, you could be taking that leap of faith. Next, you have the Sailboat. It says, sail on. You're heading in the right direction. Yeah. See, some of you have been at a crossroads for a while here, going back and forth between two ideas, and I feel like you finally have made your decision, probably, or you will this month, I would say, and I feel like you're going towards success. We see that right here. You have the Lovers, Six of Wands, and the King of Swords. Lovers can represent having a choice to make, and even going here, it's like the Seven of Pentacles I love, because it's a card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? But it also says, like, it can represent a change in direction. And so I feel for a lot of you, you're picking new opportunities in your life. And these new opportunities are clearly leading to success. I really do feel there's like love coming in for you here. I would be careful, this, you could see here she's reaching out. I'm just going to say it. She's reaching out with the apple, right? And the apple represents temptation. And, I feel like, if you're reaching out to a person, I would be careful of leading with temptation, let's put it that way, to keep it PG, right? Because it might scare this person away. I kind of feel that. Maybe they're used to that. Maybe they're used to people who lead with the wrong thing, and, it kind of scares them away. Although, again, I do feel there's like going to be a lot of desire if you're attracting a new person. Could be an earth sign, by the way. You have a lot of earth here. Could be anything. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is success. Could also be a Cancer, because Cancer had something very similar to this in their reading, but, again, take it how it resonates. And I feel like it could be very successful. I also feel like you're becoming more successful, but again, it's very clear to me in this reading that your success is coming from the Wheel of Fortune. And again, we're going to talk about the Wheel of Fortune in just a minute, kind of like in depth, but just know that I feel like, kind of taking control and, taking control of your destiny, staying focused, continuing to work towards things. The Six of Wands, he doesn't just stop. He continues to work towards the things that he wants in life. And you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is like turning knowledge into wisdom. So he knows a lot of stuff, but he's also put it into practice. So if you've been learning a lot in life, but you haven't been putting it into practice, I feel it's time to put it into practice. I also feel you could be attracting a King of Swords type person. Could be someone who's older than you, someone who has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Again, I think this person is going through some sort of change here with the Seven of Pentacles, or they are changing direction. With the Lovers, you have the Page of Cups, yes. Whatever. New love coming in for you. With the Six of Wands, you have the Four of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Like I said, I feel like you could be attracting a person who has dealt with lying, cheating, stealing in the past. So that could be why they're a little bit guarded. That could also be why you're guarded, because I feel like you two are the same here with the Nine of Wands showing up. And the Four of Swords is healing. So again, both of you have probably healed at this point. It is kind of interesting that what I want to say is, sorry, I didn't want to do that, but if you look at this guy here on the horse, I don't know, he kind of looks a little skeptical to me. It's like he's giving her that wreath, but maybe he's a little skeptical. So, again, I don't know if this is you or a person you're attracting, but again, really good card. Cancer had something very similar. So, it could be a person who's been hurt in the past, but I feel like they're open. With the King of Swords, you have the King of Cups. Could be an earth sign. This could also just represent the fact that, there's divine counterparts here. And I definitely feel you could be attracting a divine counterpart, here. And it makes sense. At the beginning of the year, I said that I thought at the end of March into April and May and June, there would be a lot of love in the readings, and I have not been wrong. So, again, I have not had readings like this in a long time where it's like there are a lot of love cards, but there's also like a lot of the divine counterpart stuff showing up. So, could be divine counterpart. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this new moon in Scorpio. It says go deeper, and that's exactly what I would do if you're meeting a person. I would start deep. Go deep with this person. Don't be afraid to learn them, explore them, ask them questions, talk to them, all that other stuff. And I would say be careful of the surface level stuff that might kind of scare this person away, actually. So I'm wondering if you're attracting a person who is very attractive, or maybe you feel like there's a lot of competition for them or something. So maybe you feel the pressure to kind of lead with surface level things. But again, I don't think this person's like that. So, there you go. I would also say that I feel like you need to go deeper on yourself here. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune's, of course, a good card, but I feel like this is your most important card here. For whatever reason, I feel you want to be at the center of the wheel here. I always say that you want to be at the center of the wheel because that's where you can control your own reality, is when we're at the center of the wheel. Those outer wheels spin around us, and they kind of represent fate. It's like there will always be good and bad things that happen to us in life. But when we're at the center of the wheel, that's where we can take control of life, and where we can see bad things come and we can course correct. We can make a change, right? And to me, life is about course correction. The good things that come our way, we can double down on the good things and make the good things even better, right? We can expand them. So I kind of feel this is saying that when you're paying attention to life and you're not operating automatically, that's how you take control. And so I really feel that's what you could be doing here. You have the Five of Swords. Again, I feel like some of you are thinking about a past breakup or separation. So, like I said, take your time to heal from that. For others, I feel like you're taking a risk. The risk is right here, actually. You're walking away from things that maybe aren't worth it any longer. That's not totally true with the Seven of Pentacles. The whole point of the Seven of Pentacles is that he's walking away because he's been able to get everything he needs from the situation. It's like he's learned as much as he can. That's why I say, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's extracted all the juice from some sort of experience that he's been having, and now it's just time for him to have the next experience. So I would say, is there an area of your life where you're not growing anymore because you're doing the same thing? It's like, obviously, again, I always use the example of the gym. It's like if you don't lift heavier and heavier weight, your muscles aren't really going to grow. And so I feel like this Seven of Pentacles is saying, it's like, is there some area of your life where you want to grow, where you're not growing? I think it's encouraging you to do something harder. You have the Four of Pentacles, and again, Four of Pentacles can represent holding on too tightly to the past. Really, I just feel it's talking about this change. I don't really feel you're holding on to anything. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Seven of Cups. Something very dreamy. Those are the words that are popping into my head. You want to explore something here, Scorpio. It could be a person where maybe you're intrigued by a person. Maybe you're interested by a person. They could be very mysterious. And it's like your Scorpio detective self, your little Scorpio detective self just can't help itself. And I feel like you want to explore a person. So I'd say go for it. If you're interested in somebody. Or if they're interested in you, I feel like it's worth exploring is what I'm getting at. A weird message. You have 2 sevens. There's fear here. Two sevens is internal fears that don't exist. You also have 2 sevens here. So definitely let go of your fears. With the Five of Swords, you have the Two of Swords, which would be 7, right? So another 7, basically. Two of Swords is about needing to kind of see the new island behind you. Needing to see new opportunities. I always say Two Swords can represent being stuck in a stalemate. It can also represent mediation, coming to some sort of agreement. But really, to me, the Two of Swords represents that new island behind her. It's like there's something better behind her. And so the reason, she's stuck where she has always been, she needs to see that new opportunity. And this could be a new love opportunity, but it could be anything. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords. I feel like you're moving on from a stuck position in life, really, is what I was saying. Like I was saying, I wasn't really feeling stuck on that Four of Pentacles, and you have the Six of Swords, which is like moving on to calmer shores. So, I feel in not just love, but multiple areas of your life. I feel like you're kind of like moving forward here, Scorpio. At the end, for the good stuff, doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be good no matter what. You have this Breathe card. Yeah, I would just I kind of feel those moments of getting very, kind of getting a little impatient. So, I would be careful of getting impatient here. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you here. I feel like this person's very different, is what I would say, and that makes perfect sense to me. Again, a couple years ago, I did love readings, and the Two of Cups came up for every single person that I read for, and I was saying at the time that Two of Cups is meant to represent someone who's very different than your usual type. So, I think it's just a sign of the times. We've had a lot of change in the astrology that I believe is going to lead to a lot of change in love. Most of that has to do with you, Scorpio. We started these Scorpio cycles in like the 70s, and when we started that, basically, and we also had Pluto in Scorpio, in the later 70s into the 80s, and what I would say is like divorces went through the roof during that time. And it's like now those Scorpio cycles and some of the things that we were going through are coming to an end or have come to an end already. So, I feel in a lot of ways that we could see a big improvement in relationships, even though it doesn't look like it right now. I know it looks like a mess out there, but, I feel like things are going to change, and you could definitely be opening up to new love. Yeah, Cancer had the Queen of Cups in the same exact position, and I said that, they could be opening up, so it kind of looks like to me you're opening up to love if you want love. You also have the Seven of Pentacles, so definitely a change in direction. It's like, really, I get this feeling of getting as much as you can. It's like you've gotten everything you can from a situation. This could be a job or a business. And so if you're thinking about making a change in your job or business, then I would say it's definitely time to make a change. It looks to me like, I always say he's bringing that one pentacle with him, which kind of represents the fact that he is bringing all the knowledge and wisdom, King of Swords energy. He's bringing all the knowledge and wisdom with him to something new. So it's like he's not starting from scratch. Six of Swords can kind of represent starting from scratch, because the woman and the child in the boat, they only have the clothing on their back on the Six of Swords. But it looks to me like you're starting from a place of knowledge and wisdom if you're starting something new. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Yep, it's time to expand. Didn't I say something about this? I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was saying something about you kind of like getting into this expansive place or expanding into something, and that's what there's a lot of growth here. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords, victory coming in for you. I also feel if you want love that there clearly needs to be communication. I'm pretty sure I've been encouraging you to shoot your shot. So if you're interested in a person, I don't know, maybe you need to learn how to flirt, or you need to learn how to wink at a person or something. I don't know, something's got to happen here. So, because again, I kind of get the feeling that some of you are like interested in a person at work, or a person who's part of your friend group or something like that, but it's like I don't know, this person could be clueless, is what I would say. So maybe they just don't pick up on it. So I feel like you need to be a better flirter or something here. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. You've definitely gone through a heartbreak here, but again, this is the area of the good stuff. So it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be good no matter what. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, I feel like you finally healed. I also feel this new person has also healed. So there you go. This looks really good for money as well. But again, I wouldn't be spending like crazy, like I said earlier. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. Are you kidding? You have this fortune card, literally the first card. So I would hold on to your fortunes, though. Don't let your fortunes, kind of escape you. Make sure that you're, protecting your finances. And again, I keep encouraging people. I would be learning as much as you can about money and, finances and stuff like that. Don't just let all the stuff that's going on go to waste. There could be a lot of opportunity right now. There could be, and again, not financial advice, but there could be opportunities for investments if there's a collapse or whatever. So, kind of learn about it. You have this Priest card. This card always reminds me of breaking tradition. I feel like you are breaking your story is what I'm getting here, though. It's like that Seven of Pentacles really tells me that you're maturing, that you're evolving, that you're no longer picking the same old story. So you're maybe you have a history of going to the same type of person. Maybe it's not the same person, but maybe it's the same type of person. And there's definitely a change here. This could be a change in your finances as well. You have this hope card. I feel like something is giving you hope. It's funny that on this card, this lady on this card, she has a blindfold on, just like on the Two of Swords, but she doesn't have swords in her hand. So I feel like you are very close to going to that new island, like I was saying with the Two of Swords. I feel like you're very close to taking your blindfold off and seeing the new opportunity that exists. I always say with the Two of Swords that island behind her, it represents an obstacle, but it's not a bad obstacle. It's like, obstacles sometimes guard gold. Sometimes obstacles in our life are the thing we need to overcome to get everything we want. But most people just don't do it. So I wouldn't, to me, obstacles are not a bad thing, period. Period. But, I'm a crazy person. And what I would say is I feel like this is like a good obstacle. Like maybe you have to learn a new person. That's an obstacle. Maybe it's a long distance relationship, but maybe it's totally worth it. That's an obstacle. Next, you have this Pleasure Seekers card. A lot of happiness coming in for you. Again, Cancer had this card as well. So, really, it could be a Cancer that's coming in for you, but take it how it resonates. You have basically everything here. I also feel like you need to have more fun. So anything you can do to like enjoy yourself more, to get out in public, to do the things you enjoy, I would do it. And finally, you have this Despair card. Unfortunately, I cannot show this card on YouTube. What I would say here is that for some of you, I feel a past person, I'd just be careful of a past person coming back and being like, oh, I need you back in my life, blah, blah, blah. Who cares, right? Block, move on, blah, 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 blah. That's it, done. Thank you for being here, Scorpio. Looks really good. Really appreciate it. Make sure about your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.